Tuesday, May 15th at 9:27 p.m. State Police Dispatch received a 911 phone call originating from 42 Irasburg Road in Orleans. During the call, a woman who identified herself as Thea Swartz stated that her husband had been drinking and was pointing a pistol at her. Shortly after this, on the 911 call, a gunshot was heard, and then approximately 4 minutes later, another gunshot was heard. Troopers from the Derby station responded, forced entry into the residence. Inside, they located a male subject on the ground, later identified as Randall Swartz, age 58. They observed Randall to be alive, but with an apparent gunshot wound to the torso. Shortly after that, the troopers located a deceased woman who was later identified as Thea Swartz, age 54. Her death appears to be from a gunshot wound, but a pending autopsy has yet to take place, but should possibly this afternoon. Randall was transported to the North Country Hospital here, and then shortly after was airlifted to Dartmouth-Hitchcock in New Hampshire. At this time, Randall is in stable condition and expected to live. At this point, the investigation is still active, and no charges have been filed on any person at this time. Search warrant was obtained this morning for the residence at 42 Irasburg Road in Orleans, and currently our crime scene search team is there processing that scene, and that'll take place probably into the evening. So the state police detectives from the Major Crime Unit and the Bureau of Investigations are working with the Orleans County State's Attorney's Office, and we're encouraging anyone with information that will be helpful to the investigation to please reach out to a detective at the local barracks here. And that's pretty much what I have. Any questions?
Captain, a lot of people in the neighborhood said that this was a very quiet family. Was there any history of abuse leading up to this?
There's no documented abuse that we've located between these two persons.
And this is the same man that had a history with embezzlement from cabinet, correct?
That is correct.
Did this look like a death and then by suicide? Is there any indication of that?
It's a little earlier in our investigation for us to commit to an answer to that. I mean, certainly we want to wait on the medical examiner's office to give us some ruling there, and for us to get a chance to request and review some medical records from Dartmouth and North Country.
I know you said it's obviously very early in the investigation, but can you say this is a case of domestic abuse?
I think it is a little bit earlier, for us to commit to that. We still have lots of work to do. Of course, this came in the evening last night, so by the time we rallied a bunch of detectives and started, hitting the streets, we still have a lot more follow-up to do before we can, commit to really determining what's going on.